Would you want to leave this place where we grew up? This old town, just put it all behind.
So I am back out on the search of otters, and I've been joined by Mr. Phelps.
Look at that beard in the light.
Look at that.
Oh, look, rim light on the beard.
Mr. Phelps of long-eared owl fame. For those that have seen my long-eared owl video, you'll all no doubt recognise him. And the weather is pretty glorious. But one thing that we've just been chatting about when you're looking for otters, we've been blessed the last couple of days. The light hasn't been perhaps as bright as it is today, and that's not necessarily always a good thing, but the water is a lot more choppy. And the last couple of days it's been like a mill pond, it's been as calm as you like, and today it's so much harder to see them. We think we've got eyes on two potentially, but it's so hard when the sea's got more movement in it. And at the moment it's proving a little bit difficult. The tide's going out and the otters are drifting out on the tide, but hopefully as the tide turns in an hour and a half or so, I think it'll hopefully start bringing them back in and things might get a little bit easier. Another little shout out, because I think it's important to give you some top tips for when you make the trip to Mull, because I'm sure plenty of you have before and will again. Mike and I have just had a fantastic,
amazing curry.
And this is coming from somebody who lives in the curry capital of the world.
Phenomenal flavours.
It was.
Just blown me away.
The Mull Spice Curry House in Tobermory. Pay it a visit because the food was absolutely exquisite. We weren't expecting to have a curry. We came into Tobermory because we didn't fancy cooking, having spent an amazing day out with a combination of otters, and then we did a bit of a drive around the island, saw some hen harriers, male and female. Yeah. Too distant to get any shots, unfortunately, but still fantastic to see. And then I said to Mike earlier, well, let's go and get fish and chips in Tobermory. And we were about 8 deep in the queue for the fish and chips, and they announced that there was no fish left, which is 50% of what you expect in a fish and chip shop, so not particularly great. And Mike spotted the curry house, so we've just been and had a fantastic curry. So anybody visiting,
brilliant, wasn't it?
Absolutely fantastic, polite, food was amazing, flavoursome, so if you're ever in Tobermory, pay them a visit. So I'm back out this morning with Mr. Phelps in search of otters, and the weather is absolutely stunning. We had a brilliant drive down here, dropped my car off at his campsite, then jumped in his van. So I've been able to look out the window and concentrate on the scenery more than the road for the first time since I've been here, and it's the most amazing place in terms of scenery. Every turn you take is almost like a picture postcard, and when it's like the weather is today, it's just absolutely spectacular. The wind's just got up a little bit, which has taken away the early morning midges, because when we got here it was still calm, but the wind's picking up, the midges have disappeared. It's made it harder to spot the otters because the current is now creating some waves and you can't see them quite as easily, but we've just seen one out in the loch, so we're just going to wait and see if it comes ashore. Someone else's turn to be private chef today. There he is.
Yay!
Time for breakfast. In the galley.
Sausage, bacon, egg, bit of fried bread.
Breakfast with a view. Spoilt.
It's just every time you turn a corner on a road that you don't know and just see a different landscape, and the scenery is just,
Something else.
not going home tomorrow.
Well, I'm not anyway, so.
Yeah, I know. It's my anniversary Saturday, so I've got to go home.
Is it?
Yeah.
How many years?
22 years married.
Wow.
Yeah, 22 years.
How's Sam Buck?
I don't know, mate. Honestly, she needs a medal. You've only known me a relatively short time in comparison to Sam, and you already know bloody hard work. On the flip side, I mean, look, she's married to an absolutely amazing specimen.
Casanova.
Luckily, my wife is attracted to humour, not looks.
Give him a bit of a clean foot.
Oh, mate.
Service with a smile.
Yeah, legend.
So that's called a passing place.
It's a big sign.
It's the giveaway. Didn't seem keen to stop, did he?
No.
I think you could do with the lens wipe on these, I think.
Oh, I don't worry.
How he means business.
And you've got my best side.
It's so peaceful here, it's absolutely incredible. It's so still. Who comes to Scotland, particularly Mull, and expects this kind of weather? And albeit it's not amazing for the photography, it's just other than the noise of a boat in the distance, you literally can't hear anything other than trickling water, bird song. So every now and again you get one of those magical moments in nature which you'll probably remember for a very long time. This morning was one of them. Last time I had one like that was probably when I was with Mike and Rob doing the long-eared owls, which I'm sure some of you have probably watched. If you haven't, I'll put a little link in the description below. But this morning's wasn't with birds of any description. This morning's was with the most incredible otter. I've been photographing the otters here on Mull for over a week now, on and off, with a couple of groups that I've brought up here. And this was just the most magical moment. We drove down, we got here at about 10 to 7, and as we were pulling up, it's like a mill pond, but it's slightly overcast. There was some inverted cloud this morning, there's a little bit of mist, and Dave spotted an otter on the loch, so we parked up, got out, didn't even put any smidge on, which I regretted very quickly, and managed to get some images and some footage of the first otter. But then we parked up in the normal spot and decided that we'd go for a walk, and we've just spent half an hour with an otter no more than 20-25 metres away, just preening, shaking, snoozing, magical. So it's 9 o'clock, it's been the perfect start to the final day, and we've got Mull Charters to come, my final trip on Mull Charters this afternoon. So if the start of the day is anything to go by, then it's going to be an incredible final day here in Mull. I'm sad to be leaving, but I've had an amazing time. I'm looking forward to going home and seeing T. So yeah, enjoy some of the footage. One thing that never really ceases to amaze me about wildlife photography is I've spent time at a number of locations this week, and I've seen photographers turn up for 10-15 minutes at a time, have a look at an area, and then decide that there's clearly nothing about and moving on. In my opinion, in wildlife photography, you need to spend time. You need to invest time. And if you're not willing to invest time, you're going to miss out on the best opportunities. So wildlife doesn't happen when you want it to. You just need to give it the time and energy and input. And then if you do, the rewards can be incredible. So unfortunately that time has come. It's the last trip out with Mull Charters. Trip 4 of my 10 days up here in Mull. And the conditions are completely different, which is fantastic. It was a bit bright the other day, a little bit harsh, but today it's flat. There's a little bit of cloud, well, there's a lot of cloud cover, quite a bit of low-lying cloud as well, and a bit of mist. So an opportunity to create hopefully some different images, but more than anything else to see the eagles. And we've already seen two. Driving around Loch on the way here, there was one on one of the outlying rocks, and then one up near the telegraph poles, probably waiting for the boat to go on to Loch, but let's see what we can find.
Heard you want to leave this place where we grew up. This old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere to hide when we were kids, so we could see and hear the water run. The river's gonna cry when you're gone. River's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're gone.